Hello everybody, I'm Conquering History Games and welcome to a new campaign on the channel. So let's first talk about real quick what I'm going to do, what this is, the plans. Alright, first off, this is the New Era Old World mod for Crusader Kings 2. My goal is I'm going to be trying to do the Windsor restoration, which the thumbnail and the title of the video should have told you, where we're basically going to try to get the House of Windsor on the English throne in this alternate post-apocalyptic universe. And I'm also going to try to restore the Anglican Church in charge of the island as a whole. However, because I'm doing this series mostly to shake rust off, I'm setting myself, and also to kind of dip my toe into this world again, because I've only really played through it once before and it didn't go very well, and that was my fault completely. This is probably going to have an episode cap of about 10 episodes. So if I can't accomplish my goals by then, too bad. End of series. We're then going to start a new series, most likely in this world. But this is just sort of in a way so that I and you can learn this world. Now, got a lot of stuff to talk about, so I just wanted to upfront say what's going on. So, this is New Era Old World. This particular version is actually the dev build that was given to me by the developers. Thank you very much to them. So it's supposed to have some bugs that are in the base, I guess the version that's out now. They've been fixed here. Having said that, let's all remember that this is a dev build, so if there are any bugs in it, it's not been released to the public. These things happen. We're not going to judge them for it. I won't stand for it. Anyway. So what is New Era Old World? Well, I think the best way to do it is to actually just start explaining is let's actually go into the map and take a look at things here. Alright, now some of you may be familiar with the After the End mod for Crusader Kings 2, which takes place in North America and a little bit of South America after some sort of apocalyptic event that essentially wiped out civilization, and it's now centuries later, and nations are beginning to form again, cultures are coalescing again, and new powers are rising in this post-apocalyptic world. New Era Old World is that concept, but on the original Crusader Kings 2 map. So you've got Europe here, and the Russian steppes, and the Middle East, and Africa, and India, and Tibet, and all that. There's several bookmark dates here on the left, but they're not actually different dates. They just kind of talk about different areas of the world and suggest some interesting characters for you to play. Of course, it's my understanding that the Thunder Dragon Empire is very, very popular for a lot of reasons that we'll maybe talk about later, maybe not, I don't know. But we're going to be playing in Western Europe, specifically within the Empire of Brittany here. Not as the head of the empire, though. We're going to be playing as somebody inside of them. So let's just read this, and then I'll pick my character, or show you which character I'm going to pick, and then once we go into the game, I'll start discussing some of the details of this world a little bit more. Western Europe has noticed the year 2555. We're in the post-apocalyptic world. Western Europe has been for decades the fighting ground of Christianity and paganism. As the French united under the novelist empire of Numenor, Catholic Palmerians and Protestants fought them and each other to achieve hegemony on the land. However, ages of war wore out the great kingdoms and empires, causing many to fall and break. Meanwhile, on the British Isles, the new power of Thelma, the British Empire, was growing more and more until they finally brought down Numenor and conquered France. What is to come for Western Europe in the future? Will the Cross rule the land once more, or will the shadow of Thelma force all under the will of the Queen, with a capital Q? Alright, so the Empire of Brittany is led by this Lord Protector Frederick of Brittany. Incidentally, I've got every single submod for the New Era Old World, except for the one that changes things back to their traditional English. Just because I think that the spelling and the way the pronunciation is, it just kind of helps us get into this different world a little bit better. But besides that, I have every single other mod on, like all the portraits and stuff. But anyway, we're not playing as Lord Protector Frederick here. We're going to be playing as one of the dukes. And there's a lot of interesting dukes here. Like, for example, over here we've got Henry Tudor of Gloucestershire. Gloucestershire. But who we're actually going to be playing is, of course, as House Windsor, as Duke George of Northumberland. So let's go ahead and hit play. As far as the game rules go, there's a lot of custom game rules for this scenario. A lot of these aren't even really going to come up. So, for example, we're just going to leave everything on default. So, Eastern Invasion is not supposed to happen until 2705. I don't think we're going to get that far in this particular campaign. And again, don't worry, we're going to come back to this, y'all. There's definitely some other characters that I want to play and discuss quite a bit about. We'll throw on the Jacobinist Revolution. That's an example of what I'm talking about. I definitely want to play the Jacobins at some point because I love talking about French Revolution stuff. Now, there is a ton of game rules here, but one I want to in particular point out is we're not going to do the Stellaris timeline thing right now. That's going to be another day. Okay, let's just jump into it. Incidentally, now I'm not super duper familiar with the lore of these two worlds yet, this one and the after the end one, but I think that chronologically New Era Old World begins before After the End. I don't remember how much earlier. Alright, so we're playing a Northlander Thelma Duke. As a Northlander, we have no opinion penalties against female rulers and heirs. Feudal government, y'all know what that is. And we believe in the Thelma Faith. I'll go into detail here. The Thelma Faith was founded by the great prophet Aleister Crowley, so this is the religion that most of the British Isles believes in right now, or at least the actual Isle of Britain, not so much Ireland. Ireland remains Catholic. Little thing like the apocalypse ain't gonna change that. Okay, anyway, Thelma. Only after it's being the faith, being the event I meant, the faith truly became widely accepted and reformed. The Queen rules over the nation, and this cycle, she ensures the eternal dominion of Britannia over the waves. As she is beyond this world, the ruler of the British is the Lord Protector, a man that guards the throne until the Queen decides to return to the mortal plane following the end of this cycle. I'm not going to go through every single rule here, but basically we're kind of like Reformed Germanic. That's essentially what that is. So, now I want to go into detail about what my actual goals are for this campaign. So we've got this so-called Empire of Brittany. The goal is that we want to get our family on the throne. We're then going to go into the Decisions tab where we could do this thing where we restore England in the Antediluvian age. So Antediluvian literally means like pre-flood, I think, meaning a reference to the biblical flood. But of course, when it's used in this conflict, it's talking about before the event, before the disaster. So that's what it means in the Antediluvian age, the pre-event age. In the Antediluvian age, before the rise of Thelma and the British, the Anglophone people of the British Isles once ruled a mighty and feared kingdom known as England. If we were to become powerful enough, perhaps we could restore it. So to do that, we have to be an adult, not have a regent, meaning we can't be incapable. We got to be at peace, we got to be independent, we got to have at least 500 prestige, and we have to essentially completely control all the duchies that make up England. So if we get our throne of Brittany, that'd be pretty easy, but also that means that we have some wiggle room. So if for some reason we lose these areas in France, it's not going to be a big deal. We could still restore England. So that's the primary goal. Get on the throne, restore England. Secondary goal, though, has to do with religion. Now, if we look around, if we were just to click randomly, almost every single person here, like there's a couple of heresies, there's a Muslim down here, but for the most part, almost every other one of the other feudal leaders in the empire belongs to the Thelma religion, which I'll probably talk more about in the second episode. I don't want to get into the details of it right now. What you just have to know is that, it's founded by Aleister Crowley. That's the one that Ozzy sang about, and then Randy Rhoads is doing all those awesome guitar fills and stuff. They're the ones who are in charge. Now, we on paper also believe in the Thelma religion, but in reality, we are one of the few still followers of the Anglican Christian branch, the branch of Christianity known as Anglicanism. Native to antediluvian England, the Anglican Church has long been practically extinct in its homeland. It regards itself as a via media or middle way between Protestantism and Catholicism. Its religious head is the King of England. That's important. Though barely extant in the British Isles, it is not impossible for it to return to its former glory. And incidentally, you could still use the Queen to to call invasion casus bellis and whatnot. So that's kind of interesting. Now we are House Windsor, descended from the Queen herself, from her offspring. So let's talk very quickly about what the House of Windsor is. So England, and I'm going to be using my handy dandy usefulcharts.com European royal family tree for reference here, just because it's big and I can look at it quickly. So the Kingdom of Wessex, England, Great Britain, United Kingdom, etc., has had many different families that have ruled over it over the years. Of course, there was Wessex, there's Normandy, Plantagenets, the Yorks, and the Lancasters had a little bit of a scuffle over who was supposed to be in charge, Tudor, Stuarts, etc., etc. Eventually, England came to be ruled by House Hanover, the last monarch of which was Queen Victoria, who the Victorian age is named after. Now, though she was queen, she was married to one Prince Albert, who was of the house Saxe-Coburg-Gotha, or I think it was actually just Saxe-Coburg, and then the Gotha thing was like a branch thing. Anyway, so even though he himself was not the true ruler of England, Victoria was the one who was actually in charge. Their children took on his house name. So when Queen Victoria passed away in 1901, her son King Edward VII became the first English king of House Saxe-Coburg-Gotha. He then passed away, and his son King George V was in charge during a little conflict known as World War I. And in that conflict, the Kingdom of Great Britain was fighting against Germany. So in 1917, King George decided to renounce their Germanic-rooted name, because the House of Saxe-Coburg traced itself back to like the Kingdom of Prussia and the House of Hohenzollern. So they changed their name to the more English-sounding House of Windsor. King George V then died, and he passed the throne on to King Edward VIII, who was the religious head of the Anglican Church because he was the King of England. But the pussy game was too good, and he was going after Wallace Simpson, the American who had been multiple times divorced. Actually, I think when they first got in a relationship together, she was still married. Anyway, so that's not going to play, so he had to abdicate the throne to his brother, King George VI, whose daughter was the current Queen Elizabeth II, who is still alive as of the time of this recording, going on about to hit 70 years as queen. Crazy. And yet Jimmy Carter's older, but people don't make jokes about how he's immortal. On the other hand, he hasn't been continuously in office for 7 years. He only did the one term. Anyway, so we are descended from her, and I do like how they worded this. So we are Windsor Scions, increases our monthly prestige. Thelmic opinion goes up because we are descended from the Queen herself. And Anglican opinion goes up as well. The Windsor Scions are believed to be distantly related to the Queen. They became related during her last time on Earth, where she spawned several of their ancestors. Now, I think that this is interesting how it's worded, because I guess this is because I don't actually know this super well, like the current living royal family, but I don't think that all of them are considered technically House Windsor. Because there was a decree at some point which basically said that even though Queen Elizabeth is married to Prince Philip, and he's from the what is it called, Mountbatten? He's from a Greek noble house, basically, but the descendants are taking her name. But that doesn't apply to ones that were I don't know how to say it. The ones before the decree are not Windsors, so I don't know, but it's not specific. The point is, there is some sort of blood that can be traced back to Queen Elizabeth. So even if it wasn't literally from House Windsor because the name changed, obviously they're playing up that we are descended from House Windsor, and that's what matters. Alright, I guess that wasn't so short an explanation. Now then, let's let's start going over our character. So we're Duke George of Northumberland. We are a Grey Eminence. Cool. We have a stutter. Well, King George VI and all that. Brave. We are honest. We are shy. We are gluttonous. All right. Our stats, decent, pretty good. I'd say good. State diplomacy. Martial's okay. Learning's okay. Stewardship and intrigue, not so much. Oh yeah, we're also in the middle of an active war against Free Ireland. Under, basically Michael Collins is rising up against the Empire. I don't think it's going to work out too well for them. Whatever, more territory for us to take later. We've got our spouse here. She's 35. We've already got a kid, and George's daughter, who's also secretly Anglican, of course. Wait a minute. Okay. So first thing we're going to want to do is get her married, of course. So she's a skilled tactician, attractive, kind, honest, brave, trusting. Really good diplomacy and martial. That's good. Yeah, we could make some things happen with her. Of course, we want to make sure it's a matrilineal marriage we get her into. But it's nice she's already 16. We've got a good backup if in case we die of the flu or whatever. Also, let's really quickly just kind of look at some of the rest of the world. We're just going to peek at this really because we're mostly going to be doing things internally here, which is going to be different. I usually don't do the thing where I start inside of a country and rise up to its leader. I usually like to start independent, but there'll be a change of pace. Okay, so Portugal is solidly Catholic. There's still plenty of Catholicism sort of scattered around Europe. The main religion here in what used to be France is the novelist religion, which we're not going to get super into, but I do want to at some point play as Aragon Bonaparte. Basically, the novelist religion is it's that like the origins of the world and of life are in books. And so if you look here at the god names, it's mostly based on like the writings of Tolkien. So here it's pronounced Eru La'atar, but I think it's Eru Ilvatar is the proper name of the kind of the head deity in the Tolkien pantheon. But you see there's references to C.S. Lewis and the Three Musketeers and Victor Hugo's works. Of course, there's a slant towards French literature. So that's what's going on down there. But a lot of different unique religions are running around. There's the people here. There's like the Stalinists that believe in, well, pretty obvious, and the Tsarists, which believe in like they worship the Russian czars of old, and you can emulate like Peter the Great and stuff like that. A lot of, there's a Yugoslavia. Maybe it's going to fall apart. Maybe it won't. I don't know. We'll have to see. But we might occasionally peek at what's going on with the rest of the world because I definitely want to see how things play out. And there's going to be some shifts that happen once we start unpausing. But mostly we kind of need to focus on the internal issues. Oh, yeah. Let's also keep an eye on Transnistria because they can kind of blow up sometimes. Okay. Now, how are we going to become the Lord Protector of the Empire so we can reestablish England? Well, there's a couple of different ways we could do it. We could try to do the diplomacy route. We could try to do the marriage route and assassinate our way in. I think what we're going to do is, even though 10 episodes is not a whole lot of time, you actually could get a lot done in that amount of time if you really want to. So what we're going to try to do, let's try to set up a marriage, a matrilineal one, between my daughter and one of the princes. Okay, cool. We have two to work with here. Prince Muin of Britannia, who is the older one, but he's not the heir. Let's see. He's an indulgent, wrathful, shrewd, charitable, deceitful, arbitrary, kind. Or the other one, Smerrathon, is a dutiful cleric who's shrewd, scarred, mystic, proud, ambitious, chaste. Ooh, chaste is, that's very bad. That lowers fertility. Nope, you're out, bro. So yeah, we'll set this up with the elder. That probably will help a little bit with that. Oh, I forgot to go over our culture. Just real quick, yeah. So we're a Northlander, Anglo-Frisian. Oh, actually, no, yeah, we did talk about that. And there's different ones here. So there's like the Prytons and South. Yeah, that was English. Okay. Now, we're going to set up that marriage. Then we just got to have the Lord Protector die and enough of his spawn, and then our grandchild could eventually, get on the throne. Other things that we want to do, though. We're going to also set up a second plan. To become King of Britain, if pagan with succession law set to elective Gavelkind, it allows him unlimited use of the subjugation casus belli within the kingdom. If a fabricate claims counselor mission is available, it may acquire a claim on Britain with this ambition. There's also a reduced cost for creating the kingdom if it does not yet exist. This ambition cannot be cancelled. We're going to try that, so that we'll go ahead and fabricate our claim down here, see if we can spawn one. No guarantees, just a backup plan. We're going to try to do the grandson thing, but if we could just do it ourselves, so much the better. Also, I've got the new era old world music mod on, by the way. I don't know. Come over here or something. Great. Let's just auto-assign some counselors. Got a lot of zealots here and such. Okay, laws. Laws, we don't think we really need to change any of this stuff right now. Yeah, I don't care about any of this right now. Technology, that's going to grow over time. Our military's not huge. Let's erect a steel. Dozens of different artisans and materials are available for the making of the steel, but you need to choose how much money to spend on it. Let's go big. Why would I have it be my consort Matilda? No, it's going to be about me, of course. Is that the Eye of Horus? Okay. We could found a religious cult, Society of the Sacred Mission. Creating a following allows you to sow the seeds of the true faith in darkness until you have enough followers to emerge from the shadow. This would, I think, be a pretty good idea, but we're going to need prestige to do that, and we simply don't have it right now. These religious cults could be very dangerous. This is what basically killed my St. Thomas campaign when one of them formed against me. So I could choose to start a faction here to overthrow. But I think we're not going to be able to do that once we marry into the family, because then we'll have a non-aggression pact, so let's not bother with that. Although, could I just start the faction before the marriage begins? I kind of feel like that would be that'd be gaming the system. We're not going to do that. So, societies. For right now, let's go ahead and join Her Majesty's Knights. Duke Spike of Hampshire of Her Majesty's Knights greets me with a brief nod. Another recruit. To join our ranks, you need to prove yourself, boy. You'll be fighting one of our own. Yeah, that's fine. So we just gotta have a duel. It's not gonna be to the death or anything. We just might get a black eye or something. Let's just get in, you know? Alright, what's this? Recruiting a court physician. I don't want to spend that money right now. So what we're gonna do is... Let's go to the characters in my realm. Who's got the highest learning? John Earl of Iwana. Oh no, I'm looking among my vassals. Here we go. Anthony the Mage of St. Aidians. So let's award him the title of... Here we go, yeah. Court Physician. Thank you. Let's see, he's a mastermind theologian. We should be good. Now, in terms of character focus, I think we want to do some carousing. Wait. Yeah, carousing. And so that way we could get the other members friendly with me. Okay, we got ourselves a little bit of a budget deficit there. Anything else worth doing? I don't want to go to the barber. I think that might be everything I wanted to do for now. Let's go ahead and unpause so things can start happening. The buried air, well, that should go away in a second too. Yeah, so we're not going to get involved in the suppressing of Free Ireland. The rest of the nation can deal with that. Let's, let them waste their soldiers. An old woman is my opponent. Fresh meat, eh? She offers mockingly before shoving an elbow into my side, making everyone laugh. A duel for honor, huh? As I swing my dull spear in a perfect half circle, causing her to fall backwards with a surprised huff, Elyssie manages to swing her wooden cluff in a perfect half circle, causing me to fall backwards with a surprised huff. However, the crowd is chanting my name. It was all worth it. So I won, but I did get a swollen ankle. Alright, so this old lady actually got a hit in on me. Well, it's fine. It was nothing serious. Yeah, just a little swollen ankle. We'll be better by the end of the year. To the Honorable Duke George, blessings upon you and your house. I have decided to accept your suggestion that Anne and Prince Mewen get married. All children of the union will be of her dynasty. Great. Alright, dude. You're at my court now. I'm going to need you to go ahead and impregnate my daughter ASAP. Thank you very much. Alright. We should probably also be actively swaying people. So, who do we want on our side here? Who would be good to have? How about Mr. William Wallace here? William of Wild Wetheld. By the way, I'm going to be mispronouncing everything, and you're going to sit there and listen to it. We can go ahead and already found a religious cult. I'll become the Grand Master of the society. Oh, but then I'm going to now leave the other society. Or because it's a secret one, can I do both? I actually forget. It's been an extremely long time since I did that. In order to make sure that the oppression of Anglican followers comes to an end, I have decided to take action. I will focus my efforts on organizing my fellow believers so that we, in time when we are too many to be ignored, can express our faith without any fear of repercussions. When the time is right, we will proclaim our faith. So now if we come over here, yeah, that's... yeah, Society of Sacred Mission. Okay, so it's just us right now. Like, we're all by ourselves. But because we are the Grandmaster... oh, what's this? Your display of bravery and good attitude impress us all. We'll invite you into our ranks. Huh. Okay, no. So, I'm in, but I'm not in. So, because I'm the Grandmaster, I get access to all of the tricks here. So, for Faithful, we're allowed to induct our children into the faith once we right-click their portraits. We can invoke sympathy for Christians. Enables you to evoke the sympathy of characters in other religion groups than your true religion by right-clicking their portraits. We can induct people into the Anglican faith. Enables you to secretly induct characters into your true religion by right-clicking their portraits. We get Prepare Ground. Enables you to spread your true religion secretly among the inhabitants of a county in your realm by right-clicking its country shield in the county view. County shield in the county view. If you openly adopt your true faith, these counties will convert as well. Then finally, Herald enables you to openly adopt your true faith. The other secretly religious characters and counties of your true faith in the realm will convert with you. This power is available in the intrigue screen. Sorry, Crocvey, I'm gonna have to get back to you in a couple minutes here. Oh my god, now the bar won't go away. I'll be right back. Okay, we're back. But you know what? That's on me because that's not the first time that's happened. I gotta keep remembering to go offline when I'm actually recording. All right. So, personally adopting the faith costs me 500 devotion. Well, we're not gonna do that for a while. In fact, we're probably not gonna do that. I maybe could do something where I openly declare before I'm actually king. Or Lord Protector in this case, and try to spark a religious revolt to break up the empire and work from there. But I think the better play is to just get on the throne, and then we'll declare ourselves openly, and then we'll be the one who puts down the revolts. All right. Anything else I was gonna do? No, I guess let's just unpause. Okay. I'll tell you though, it's been some troubles trying to record this series. It's not just that Steam thing. I've actually tried to record the opening to this series. This is now the third time I've tried to do the first episode. The first one I don't even want to talk about what happened, but then the second time I didn't have space on my hard drive, so it was like 28 minutes in, and then can't record anymore, your hard drive's full. I mean, what? No, it isn't. And it was a whole thing. Daniel of the Scottish Revolt refused the revocation of chiefdom of Windsor, requested by the Governor William. So what's going on? It looks like he's got to put down a revolt now. Defending against a Scottish revolt. So he's putting down this guy, Daniel MacDonald. So yeah, I want to actually take a look, because I haven't yet, real quick at this Sultan Palmedes of Zanzibar. With the exile of Sultan Jamshid Escalbor al-Said from his homeland, he came to the realm of the Queen, of whom he knew personally. His titles and house persevered by her. He was granted dominion of Winchester by her grace. There the dynasty has ruled as Knight Counts of the Winchester Round Table and fought alongside Lord Protector Lonsalian in Numenor, where they won great acclaim in Arnor. So that's a reference to... How many Lord Protectors ago was that? Actually, how far back does this go? Oh yeah, you can actually go back to the pre, the antediluvian ones. So here's Queen Elizabeth. Queen Elizabeth, George daughter. Yep, there was the Anglican Christian. She was a misguided warrior. She is shrouded in myth. This character is shrouded in myth and legend to such a great extent that very little about them can be known for certain. Zealous, envious, craven, humble. So I think these might just be randomly generated traits. But yeah, there they all are. There's George that I was talking about. Her father, her uncle, Edward. It says King Edward III here. That's not right. It's supposed to be King Edward VIII. That must be a slight, teeny little bug. And then, yeah, as you can see, there was no holder for a while until the year 2212, where Lord Protector Arthur of Britannia, who was Old Thelma Faith. Old Thelma Faith, abandoned centuries ago by most inhabitants of the British Empire in favor of the current Thelma Faith. Old Thelma focused more on the personal will of the individual, and for this was considered the ultimate cause of the Civil War in the 23rd century. Since then, only pockets of Old Thelmites have survived, while the New Faith and the Summer Queen hold the country. However, some lodges still survive hidden deep in the countryside of Britain. So this is more closely related to the Thelma religion today, although it's more of a spiritual movement thing. It's a whole thing. Yeah, so then this must have been the Civil War. So you see there's Old Thelma, then there was a Civil War, and then Fragan takes control and he's New Thelma. And it looks like it's just been going back and forth. Or this must have been the Civil War where things were going back and forth. So I guess this was the War of the Roses right here. Yeah. Anyway, so wait, which was the Lord Protector? Lord Protector Lonsalin. So that's... Wait, Lonsalin. With an L. I don't see that one here. Something wrong with me? Am I missing something? I just want to see how far back does this go. Can we actually go to Wessex? Or not Wessex, but yeah, there's Emperor Alfred of Britannia. Yeah, so House Wessex is back here. I like that kind of attention to detail. I surely do. So William. Okay, that's enough for the first episode. I'm Conquering History Games. We're going to get started for real in the next one. And I'll see you then.